Hello everyone, this is Hambbage, and we're back for another Hardcore Vanilla Minecraft. Um, I'm just letting the game launch up here in the background as we get started. It can be scary, but in a pretty kind of way. A beautiful sort of scary. So this, I've successfully dodged the bullet. I've expanded the Minecraft window to full size and not forgotten to turn off the slide. We're off and running. Let's get to it. Here we go. We're gonna jump back into the world. Back kind of mid to late afternoon type time. Definitely got an enjoyed windy day, but beautiful, perfectly kind of cool. So pleasant to be out in. But otherwise, just kind of ideal. Wind makes the disc golf part a little more challenging, but I'm not going to complain about that too much. So one thing I do want to do while we're here, let's go back to our options. Let's go to video. We know which way we're going to head in now. So let's pull our render back down. And again, I know there's controversy out there, is Optifine cheating? You can zoom. I've never had Optifine, so I don't know. Again, I just straight vanilla, everything. And I know, there's some performance improvements out of Optifine. For me, I've never really gotten to that point. Oh. And like I said, I just rebooted. I loaded up the last installment from earlier today when we played the dragon, and that should be popping here within a couple hours. It's just set to publish. But following that upload and the earlier play session, all that one, a fresh reboot. One of the challenges of that is if anything's set to run on the laptop at startup, system install bloatware kind of nonsense that might run and take up some of the background resources. Those might be subject to hit us, such as I just got a virus. Your pre-installed unwanted antivirus software has expired. Great, thanks. Could you all go away? And like I've said in the past, I always say, when I next get a fresh new system and start from scratch, I will just wipe everything and full on clean install, and then you get started on stuff, and the next thing you know, it's like I'll just deal with it. like everybody else, I will just deal with it and kind of go from there. So here we are back on the Dragon's End Island. We're going to climb. That's our destination out into the distance there. Again, we're going to, in the ring here, we'll kind of rise up a central tower there so that we can clear Enderman on both ends. Yeah, I thought I might have accidentally looked at you. I don't like these hills in between. Oh, now who did I get? Yep, I know. Where are you? I thought I got one of those up in the distance. You want to look down, but, as you're looking up to where you're going, you can just occasionally clip one. So, again, we're playing some inspired Minecraft here. We've beaten the dragon. We've leveled up. We've chopped some Endermen en masse, and we've actually been through this portal once just to kind of poke our heads around. And now we are, again, every time it'll put you as far out into danger as it can possibly manage. So this is what we talked about. We want to come over here, and again, we're not, sorry, I had a bit of a crumb from lunch, just freed from a tooth or something. Weird. Yeah, I didn't brush my teeth for you guys since lunch in this stream. A couple hours. I'm gonna try to get back out again this evening and do a bit more real world socializing. Go see a couple friends in just a non-public setting where we can go hang out at a friend's house. But it was so good to get out and enjoy the really kind of perfect spring weather. Like I said, a little windy. It looked like, and as I'd said, I was out playing disc golf, and that wind makes that a little exciting at times. Still pretty good. It's pretty good. On a fun course that we play. But it looked like people were setting up maybe for a wedding in the park at the like pavilion thing. Like somebody had set it up and had a caterer coming. So they were like setting up tables and like wrapping these chairs in, like a white skirting kind of thing with like pink bows around it, which is why I think, it could be a quinceañera, it could be a, some kind of like a, I think it would still be pre-high school graduation. I don't know for sure, but I would guess that something kind of along those lines. Could be any of those kind of things, but it looked unfortunate, right? Because it appeared to be catered, and what was otherwise just a perfect kind of day for those types of activities was really a little windy, and would have been, if you were trying to like have a picnic style eating outdoors. I just came. I said I had like a little piece of food and stuck in my teeth. Just came, got some tacos with the buddy I'd been playing disc golf with. So, you can eat outside. It's not too terrible. But we selected the place. The decision to go get tacos was in part like, okay, that one has a building that's going to kind of block the wind from where they have tables out, and it was a good choice. So you wouldn't want to just be out on a kind of a hilltop picnic pavilion as this was getting set up. I hope whatever that event is, they get through it without too much disruption from the weather. But so far, storms were holding off. It was just partly cloudy and pretty perfect ideal temperatures. Maybe 70 degrees, and just so nice. So now again, none of these are particularly long bridges. There's somewhere, you're just like, all right, I've checked everything, and I'm going to head this direction, and you start building. Good to drop a few torches along the way, and I do like to widen these up, because if there are Endermen out there, you kind of got to push around, right? And I'm just mashing on the shift key here the whole time. Don't care about speed. You guys can't make me feel bad about this. Until we, until we're really set or have our security up, or that kind of stuff, doesn't matter. And really the only time you're going to be returning to the same place over and over is if you do build farms in the end. And to this point, as I've said, my main farming is right at the Dragon Island. So I don't have a whole lot of vested interest in needing to move over vast distance quickly in the end. Honestly, once we'll keep going on these expeditions, and we'll kind of reset every so often, but once you're going, and a 3 wide, yeah, then you can run back and kind of do jump runs and all that kind of stuff. But you want to give it enough so that if there's Endermen that have situated themselves right in the middle, if it's just a single wide, pushing past is just enough. If they give you a little bump as they're going, and that's just them walking in the opposite direction and kind of trying to push past you. If you happen to be a little close or off your game, it could be bad news. So try to avoid that. Now, again, at the end of the last episode, we had greatly, and there you go, we greatly expanded the number of chunks that loaded. And to help clarify, that's how I normally play the game. If I'm not recording, I play in the full 32 chunk resolution. It seems to run just fine. If I know I'm going to be doing something that's particularly resource intensive, I will back it down a little bit. Or if I start, experiencing lag or seeing stuff going on, I'll kind of limit a little bit how much I'm using those. Now, I don't know. We know that there's other cities out in the distance, but only having half as many chunks loaded, you won't see as many things into the distance, and that's fair. All right. So where are we? We are at the first of our cities. There you go. City at the end of the game. Cities are end cities. They have these little fellows here that are shulkers. Oh, and he just hit me. So now I've got the levitation effect. Fun as it is, it can be a bit trolly. Oh, seriously? All right, just stop, guys. That's a good example. Oh, maybe we'll just... I doubt it. Already flashing. Throw a pearl. Now, he must have hit himself. Or his buddy must have hit him. Okay, I think we got them both. That on the ground is what we're really going for here, actually. Now, I don't know who... Oh, perfect. Perfect. So we got two. These are shulker shells. Very sought after in the game. We can get a whole bunch, but you can never have enough. So, to get into the city or to move around it, it's kind of made like a little bit of a parkour puzzle. This is kind of the approach that I've always used in the Ender cities. It still works for me. Yes, you can jump all the way through these. You can kind of bait the shulkers to lift you up, and sometimes it's not worth fighting it. You just kind of go where they lift you to, and oh, now they will teleport like that, so you don't want to actually be too close to them. Ow. Okay, there's another one. Now this other one is going to be problematic because he shot outside, and at least at the moment, we can't see where he got to. You want to be careful, right? They can kick you out on edges. A lot of these are stairs, and just holding shift won't keep you from falling off a staircase. So all things to be very wary of. And he could be stuck to the bottom, right? And that's kind of tough to deal with. Guess let's hope for a roof. We've got some new block types here, all just primarily construction blocks. Perfect. All right, we got them. So, just a little pause to hang out. So we came up in that tower. This is a small city, but a very good one. So we came up through that central room, kind of spiraled our way up into this little tower in the top there, and you can see our cobble back there. Now, some of these will have multiple branches going off in other directions, and you may go over to a side and then have another equally big tower just suspended off of them. So they can be quite extensive. This one isn't too big, but as I said, if it wasn't for the sake of a first recording, I would probably or often save a first city if it didn't have a ship to keep the shulkers ready, because we'll need some of those. That's another important block for our how did we get here. Now I think he just closed. Well, okay. Well, this is okay. We're not too far. Oh, if we can just out. Okay, so we cleared the tower. Not going to be anything that much more in here. We've got to kind of just wait the few seconds for the levitation to end. And we don't really need to fill in those steps. Kind of already done it. Is this our... Yep, this is the ship. So, some of the cities will have ships floating in the distance, like this one. We are just out of... Oh, what? Really? You're going to teleport? Hopefully he's inside now. And this is kind of a timing game. You can only hit them if they're open. And they'll troll you just a bit on closing before your arrows get there. Another good... Okay, so we got the one exposed outside. When we're going out to the ship, we want to and this is another very precarious Enderman situation. A long way down, some of them right underneath us, and don't want to draw their ire. That's why we keep pearls, right? Even if you start to fall, throw a pearl to the ground. You'll take like a half heart of damage every time you throw a pearl and land. But you'll take the landing from the pearl instead of the damage from the full fall. So, huge help there. Another tip some people will use out here is to use boats. That if you're in a boat, and I didn't know this until recently. I've seen it in some video, or relatively recently. But you can sit in a boat and fall from great heights, and you won't take damage. Whoa! I kind of got a little carried away. More talking than paying attention to the boat. I think we're still... This should work. Let's go here. Now again, just err to the side of the block you're standing on than the below, because it just takes one Enderman to decide. You don't get your say in court. He decides that you were looking at him when he moved down to the very lower edge of the end island, and you're done. Okay, so we grabbed some... Oh, I thought you were dead. Oh, this is not cool. Okay, inside. Come on. Okay, one more to go. There's always 3 on the ship. And the other one stays inside the central area of the inside part of the ship. We run. Oh. It's almost like he knew we were coming. And there they are. Just waiting for us. Okay, as advertised, it was our helmet that had the fire prop 3, I think. I actually considered, you know, you can get good loot up here. You know, it's worth considering some of these. You don't have to take them. Again, be more concerned with overclogging your inventory than with missing out on bargain. You know, we don't have to worry about taking stuff just to take it. But if you find an efficiency 5, you know, gold pick, you might as well, or gold pick, diamond pick, you might as well bring it back. Save those couple of enchants and get a cheaper priced fully and Unbreaking 3. Same way, right? You get at least 1 free enchant to pick up off those. So we've gotten our wings, and we've gotten another chest. Now we're going to throw down our ender chest. We're going to pick up our crafting table. We're going to pick up these books and the anvil. Anvil. Elytra. Mending. And unbreaking. Boom. We have wings. Now we're not gonna use them just yet, I don't think. We'll kind of bring them back home and do test flight again. We're very short on rockets. But we, you know, there's a little bit of risk that I have with flying in the end. If you've made a Enderman farm and it's secure and you're just flying out over the void, no big deal, as long as you don't lose track of up and down and lose track of your Y. Like, if you're going to fly in the end, use the debug screen every single time you do. Don't mess around. Don't think you're going to be tough, anything like that. You don't need to. Just do it every time. You'll be so happy that you did. All right, let's stock up on our torches. Let's jam back up our cobble. Everything else we can kind of hold. If we get in a jam, we can throw more silk picks back now. But, you know, ultimately we're going to start loading out. We can make a frame stack there. And while we're here, let's go ahead and go outside. So I usually go right through here. To get the last of the goodies. It can only be had in the end. And again, these are, unlike the egg, this item is only limited by the number of cities with ships you can find. So you can get, you know, a whole bunch of them eventually if you really want to. But not essential, but they're still cool. So there we go. we got a dragon head. So that's mastheads on the ships, but we can mount that when we get back home again. Not there. Here. Put it away. Grab that. The anvil, kind of, you know, it's just, it represents a lot of iron, so there it goes. So we might as well carry it with us. So now we have shulker boxes, and at any point that, well, you know, we can just kind of set one up for demonstration purposes here. So shulkers, just a single chest, but these can stack, pick up with the items in them. So, you know, for the purposes of what we're doing here, I shouldn't have, I need some. Let's get all these, and then let's put the other one back in here just to demonstrate. So you can't put a shulker box inside a shulker. In fact, let me just show, since they're new, we're excited. You cannot, you know, I'm clicking, it will not let me place that into the box. You can't infinitely stack up shulkers full of shulkers full of shulkers. But you can carry an end chest full of shulker boxes, plus your full inventory if you want to. I mean, to be fully maxed out, you can carry a whole lot of these guys. We've got 2 right now, and again, that's, you know, perfectly untouched double inventory worth of carrying capacity that we never had before. Now, at least for this trip, excuse me, we're going to kind of leave well enough alone. We'll use this one for our overflow cobble as we go to those other 2 known cities. You can get these. You get instant health 2 potions, which are nice for the grenades. They're already strong, but they don't stack, and so I usually leave them as is. I don't want anything here, just so we can say we've been there. The ships have Cronus nests. You know, they really just help make the ship stand out in the distance. But we can climb up and kind of look out into the distance. And I don't know that we're loading enough chests to see our chunks to see our next city yet, but with our longer resolution, we already got a bit of a preview. So very, very good out of a small first city. We got wings, we got 2 shulker boxes. I want shulkers more than I want the wings, honestly. You know, the wings are nice, don't get me wrong, I like them, but shulker boxes are game changers. You know, the wings you can do without. You don't really need to use them a whole lot. Hello, sir. The shulkers and the ability that they give you to travel fully laden, and, you know, quarrying construction projects, going on expeditions and carrying back loot, not having to turn back in the mines. Those kind of things are done. No longer an issue. Which is kind of cool. Okay, there's our next city, and this one looks a little bigger. And for, you know, we know that there's 3 total cities out in this direction. So either until we run out of time or until we run out of visible cities, we'll just keep going. 3's a pretty good haul, though. I'm not... if we don't immediately see more from that point, we'll call it good and turn back and be so thrilled with what we've already gotten. This one, I don't know that there's a ship associated. But as you can see, lots of big rooms. You know, those are kind of the bases. And when you've got more of those with more developing towers growing off of them, lots of room for treasure chests and loads of shulkers. And like I said, we want shulkers as much as anything else in the game at this point. So I'll take that. And again, back to the bridging, working out the left pinky finger is going to get a good workout, but we're not just going endlessly distant. As close as I've ever gotten to doing the how did we get here was an attempt to bring back the shulker, and I had built I think I was going from the island that I could just see the edge of one of the other islands from one of the portals using my 32 chunk visibility, or resolution level. So I just kind of pressed on into the distance. I think this is kind of the... Oh no, we're already here. Cool. Very cool. Okay. I thought we were going to get stuck at a little waypoint island. But yeah, I'd created kind of a bridge out to land, thinking, all right, here we go. I'm going to be close to some cities, and they're all going to be set. And I built all this without checking, and I got there and found out it was one of the cities that the portal had taken me like right to it. So thinking I was like going in the opposite direction, and everything was going to be this great little bridge where, all right, there's an untouched city. It's clean. I can load a shulker in a boat, get them on a bridge all the way back to where I need them to be, and it was a city that had no shulkers left. So that was a little frustrating. And I know I think there's a few different methods for getting the shulker back. Haven't looked into it too closely, but I know what should work. And again, as I've said in the past, I enjoy trying to kind of figure these things out a little bit myself. And I know you can put mobs into boats, and if you get into a boat with a shulker, you're in the boat. You can't then get levitated and floated out of it. You'll take some damage from the shots, but as long as you have plenty of golden apples and can just keep munching on those, you'll be fine. You've got good armor. It's got full durability before you start. You'll be fine. You can do that. So very frustrated when I found that I'd done all this work, like hours and hours of laying netherite in a nether rack in a long bridge, only to find it was taking me someplace that was totally worthless, because the shulkers will not respawn. Once you've cleared them, they're gone. Worth it if, early on you're going to be getting shulkers to help you out, and knowing that you can journey far into the end wastes, if you will, to get them back. But okay, now we've done it. Now I don't know if they'll kind of seems like they're fighting each other. Okay. Alright, now because we kind of got like 100% return on the first city's shulkers for drops, because they don't always drop the shell. This one I'm sure will be less generous, and we'll have to it's kind of press our way through. Oop, don't want that. You know, it's the same position on each corner all the way up, and this gives you, not only does it give you steps so that you just walk on up if you don't fall off, it also gives you cover from whatever. Oh, that's why. Forgot. By the time I'd gone around the circle, I totally forgot I'd left a mess. Yeah, it gives you a little bit of overhead protection from other shulker attacks, which is pretty nice. So here we go. This is the first summit. Oh. And there's, I think, okay. We've cleared him. Let's go up to the top of this little tower first. I don't know that there's much more to it up there. But just to see if a shell kicked out to the side. As you guys saw there, I had 4, added 2 more to the mix. Or use those with 2. I don't know if he's going to open for me. Oh, yeah, he was. Yeah. One more clear. And we'll see. Might as well grab a one of those like nether lights or something. Glow sticks. Okay, so there's one that's hanging off the bottom. You'll often hear a shulker making noise and can't find them, and that's where they go. Now, depending on what you want to use them for, can be a good thing or a bad thing, but plan to try to get back down again pretty quickly if you do deal with a shulker underneath you, because if they do drop a shell, it can despawn, and you don't want to just waste out on the opportunity. This is going to be a bit of a wild ride. Ow. Ow. Stop. I can't see you. And you can hit those with your sword as well. Okay, so we drop down, we got, let's get that shell. Shell's, again, the most greatest treasure of all. Let's go all the way back down, just in case any fell. So, what do we do here? I like to do blocks like so. You can kind of swing wide around the stairs yourself, get all the way around. You know, these are all just kind of unchanging puzzles, right? They're not impossible mazes or anything by any means, but they do give you just a little bit of challenge, and then it repeats from what we got. So what do we have in this chest, right? Treasure, right? Nope, we got our own stuff. These are just free end chests for the taking. Pretty good. We'll always take that. There you go. Perfectly helpful. That's pretty darn good too. I don't know that did we get a Smite 5 book yet? But we can add that to the 3. It doesn't hurt anything, and we've already got a bunch of the other stuff. What's the harm, right? We don't want that. Don't want that. Don't care. In theory, we could make a fully juiced fire prot armor for our netherite mining in the nether, but at this point, not worth. So here we'll kind of store. There's a lot of 3 extra things in there. If as we go we see others, we may grab one of those chests too. So here we go. Next stop. Oh, missed it. Should we go for it here? Let's go for it. So that's one of my favorite sort of cheaty advancements. We'll come inside here where we're a little safer and talk this one through. So, because I know that wasn't prearranged or anything, I just kind of take it when I can. I don't know why these float around like this, but got the elytra. Here we go. So we got to the city, and then out of that, levitate up 50 blocks from the attacks of a shulker. So if you try to get 50 blocks of straight up vertical, it can be frustrating and challenging. You've got to kind of just annihilate a city and leave the shulkers in place as you go, so they all have open views of you. And, from tower to tower and chamber to chamber, try to get it where they start shit at the ground and lift and lift and lift and lift and lift. But the alternative is, before the levitation effect ends, if you're up 50 feet from the ground, just throw a pearl. You'll still be levitating, and you will have traveled 50 feet of vertical distance. So you get it without a whole lot of fuss or muss. We can, if that makes anybody's mind bleed too much, we can go back and do it the other way. It's one that I don't know. I kind of, unless I'm just going to take a city down completely, which I may do. If I want to do a building project or I want some of these resources, maybe. Even then, I kind of feel bad, and again, it's silly. It's like the old debate of, should I steal stuff from houses in Skyrim or any of those kind of games? I mean, kind of, or villages in Minecraft. We want to keep it to this game. Should I take the stuff out of the chests in villages? If I don't, nobody else is ever going to use them, right? It doesn't make the villagers feel sad or worse or deprive them of anything from taking it. But I still, just for the sake of, okay, we're going to try. I think this is the one, and this may teleport. There he is. Okay, he fell. Now we got to watch out for Endermen. Oh, we got to watch out for the hole. I don't want to fall into the hole. I didn't see anything down there yet. I didn't know he had one more attack coming at us. Is that a shell? Maybe. Now I will kind of come over this way. I mean, it could be a tree, it could be an Enderman. Oh, he's got arms, he's turning. It's not a shell. I don't think he dropped any, so let's carefully look away. We'll use up some of our cobble. Again, we probably will never come back in here, but at least we got the XP for getting them. So, good work there. We've come over, cleared another just, simple little tower, but it kind of adds some fun, and mix around. You can see we've still got one guy here at the top of the stairs. Let's get to him next. Done. I don't see a shell there either. But again, we've done pretty well already. You can never have enough shulker boxes, but you don't need to, you don't need to have 20 to feel a positive effect, right? You can just start with what comes your way. Okay, this is getting silly. Okay, they seem to be fighting each other. There's one down. No shell. Now with the fire, just use up bow durability. Okay, there he went. Really? No shells at all? You're just sitting here? Come on. Game not responding? I hope you come back, game. Game? Game? Okay. Not bad with all this stuff. Really don't need saddle or seeds, obviously, but oh. When did he get back there? Was he sitting there the whole time? Oh, nice though. Okay. Good. Gonna have more trouble above. I think we're somewhere around 40 minutes on this episode. I don't know exactly when I started. I should compare that. Again, this is another way to end up with really long episodes when you're running around and having fun. It's easy to lose track. Okay. Oh. Not the worst thing to get hit with a couple on your way up. You can kind of play the jumpy game back down again. Just make sure you're not overexposed before you fall, and that you have your feather falling on. And if you've got those couple things, then you're pretty good. Now we'll just, for fun, poke out a couple holes. So that's our way back home. I think beyond that we're pretty safe. So original city over on that island, and then our portal way back over there. Over here, I think we have extension out to another. But yeah, I think we've kind of done this. We've got enough for 2 more shulker boxes with more chests, but at least for the moment, we're good. You know, we don't need to carry around the extra junk just to get more chests. We got loads of chests at home. So, yeah. Pretty darn good. That's that. And you can't do all this without taking any drop type sounds or damage. But yeah. 2 cities down, 1 to go. Let's real quick here before we spin our way down. Yeah, we're just short of an hour. 2/3 of the way done. Now this last one is the one that's going to be a bit more challenging for me. I know we saw it out, you know, as a third entity kind of out into the distance. I think it was more or less this way, but I don't know that for sure. It could have been off in that distance too, so fingers crossed here. Toes and ear hairs. When you're out kind of on these just big flat areas, just every so often go ahead and drop yourself a torch. If you find that you're bending around, you know, a rise or something like that, put another, you know, same as the nether, right? You just want to have enough. You're really trying to do the breadcrumbs deal where you keep some landmarks available to yourself as you go. Now, again, this kind of illustrates we're moving what I believe is out and away from the Dragon Island where we first started this end adventure, and you can kind of just keep going. And in some places, yeah, there's just vast gulfs of void where there is no land, and nothing wrong with that. But if you find you've got, okay, there's the next one, and that was the one with the other ship. So we'll kind of leave this as a big arc, at least for now. It appears that we don't have to do a whole lot of bridging to get there, which is nice. It's interesting, both the ships have been pointed in the same direction, and that is east. Do all ships point in the same direction? And in the end, I don't know. Never really looked or thought about it too much, but wonder if that's a generation thing. All right, so one more. We're gonna do this one as well. I'd like to get a good stock of shulker shells, and I'm no opponent of long expeditions out. Oh man, even that makes it almost impossible. Okay. Long expeditions, especially once we get more of our own shulker shells. Come on. So 6. That's three more boxes that we can make, bringing our total to 5. And I like to have, at least early on, 1 for tools, 1 for fireworks and or TNT, just as kind of dedicated boxes. You know, this is what I need, and I kind of will. I like to have, you know, eventually 1 of every color, but then I can also just pick a color to go with as like all right, this is the bulk. You know, if I'm quarrying sandstone, right, and I can just have a bunch, and I know when I look in my ender chest, all the brown ones are going to have sandstone or spruce wood, or, you know, whatever it is I've traveled to go harvest. All right, this is a fun kind of little shooting gallery, and at some point they're gonna get me, and then it's just kind of let them keep you going up, keep an eye on your health. How great is this? Just kind of a shooting gallery of... Ow. Okay, we need to get an apple at some point. And until they get pretty low, you've got plenty to keep you levitated. Oh, okay. And we're to the top. So we'll pearl back. This is another great opportunity to grab a chest. And again, you know, if you're looking to make backup gear, good place to grab all that stuff. You know, if you're short of anything, feel free. Now, as long as we're up here, let's just go check the top. We can take in the view. Not that we can see a lot. There's the ship out that way. Wow. It's a long way off. We'll deal with all that. But now we're significantly up here, right? And we've got a whole bunch of shulker shells below. So we can kind of make use of our opportunities. Just remember in this scenario that you're going to get less opportunities to be levitated. So kind of keep over whatever stairs or staring you built. And, you know, you may find it you may find it preferable to dodge or to pearl all the way down first, and then pillar back up once you've cleared everything. You just don't want to lose out on what shells could be around, and kind of keep an eye out if there's any on any of the shelves opposite you that got caught as they fell. There you go. And we get a bunch more XP back. And are there any shells? This is so sad if this is all the shells we got. Anything down there? Come on. Oh, man. Alright, well, we've got our steps back up. I'm pretty confident we didn't lose any to despawning. We were quick enough, and I've done a few of these, and pretty confident of being able to get up and down in time. But there are two parallel possibilities for doing the steps like this if you choose to. Again, you can pillar too, and sometimes that works a lot better. If you want to, you can bring sand, still do the kind of shooting gallery effect where you float up and then just make a sand pillar back down. Now, I've never seen whoever, oh, there he is. All right. I'm out and fight like a shulker. Okay, so we know he's back over there. Let's kind of do a... onto the middle type deal. We got another boat here. I think this one is quite a bit further. Looks further. And I think they can... No, I was too low. There's a hit. Miss. Yeah, it's the worst when you have to do timing and... Oh, what was that? That looks like a shell. Doesn't that look like a shell? Let's go find out. Could just be the torch. Oh, we got the XP. Was it like a missed arrow that I fired out there? Well, you're up to 8, so we've gotten a few more at least. Now I gotta try to find my way back up to that ship edge. Oh well, it's part of the fun, right? Go, go, go till you can't go no more. And as long as once we get back up again, we should probably look into doing a bit more inventory. Dumping some of these random things. Unfortunately, we don't, we've been using our cobble, but I think we have some more cobble in there. We can switch that, but we haven't gotten full stacks of anything. We can certainly throw some of these, I guess those are our regular tools, but these couple tools and some of that, I don't know. It's tough when you're getting all these goodies to decide what stays and what goes. Okay, up and up, 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 around. I think we did all that. Are there other? Is this it? Or are there other tower wings that I'm missing? I don't know. I guess nothing more important than a knock knock. That's one. Miss. He's shy. There we go. Alright. So, for this one, let's just go out a long ways, and then... Is that what did we... I think we stared up on the last one, and then... Ended up climbing up too high and having to trim it back. Ooh, he didn't drop it, but there was one. Are we going to make it? I hope so. If we have to go all the way back, unload the shulker box, pull out the cobble, switch everything out that I said I would do and then didn't do. Come on. A little bit more. We can do it. Oh, close. Alright, there's one. Again, we're not going to worry about the potions. We are going to come up here, at least get the XP and check for another shell. Wasn't one. Remember, we have one more friend down and inside, but never quite the same challenge, because even if he gets you, you're just going to bob around inside this little room. Man. Again, no, would we ever need a fortune shovel? I'm trying to imagine what the need could be. And I gotta tell you, I'm falling kind of short. One other thing I should have mentioned, watch out for binding on some of these pieces of gear. If you get stuck with a binding level enchant, you I can't remember if it's equipped or if you just pick it up, but I'd hate to have my inventory full of stuff that I then have to like wear and use, you know, and like go wear out a full helmet on a cactus or something until it's broken. It would be pretty darn painful. So just be aware, it could happen. Now, again, I don't know. I mean, feel free to tell me in the comments if you think I'm missing out. We could always put an efficiency 4 and a mending on here as well, and with 2 books be max on a fortune shovel. I'm just trying to think what on earth can that actually help give us anything more of? Is there anything that you get more benefit from a shovel with fortune on? I don't know what it is. If it's there, you know, I'm happy to consider. But until I know, I don't know. Really, what? I don't know. I mean, do we just bring it back? Is it just going to be in the way at home and everything else? I mean, we can have it and say we have it. Then if I ever find I need it, I've already got it, I guess. I mean, we got... I don't know. Still thinking. Did I end up with it? Okay, I did. Let's... Oh, wait, we got to do all our inventory stuff right now. Let's get out this box. Get out one of our ender chests. Again, that's kind of the nicest thing, is that we've got more... I'm just going to put all these extra tools in here. I think that'll be the easiest way to keep track. And if we get more of the randoms there, cool. We get the ones. Maybe we'll just start putting our spares in. Now, is it worth making another, or do we just stack the ingredients? Let's just stack the ingredients now. In which case, why do I even care about the chest, right? We've got one. If we fill up somehow, all of a sudden we just get a wild hair to start picking up blocks. we'll be all set. But I don't really see that happening either. So I don't know. Again, feel free, drop a comment if you know of a reason to juice up a and did I just have those going into the ender chest? I think so, right? Yeah. If you can think of a reason why I should juice the ender, not the ender chest, the fortune shovel, please, please, please let me know. Oh, are you? All right. Now, how am I making this so difficult on myself? Put that. Grab that. It goes in there. Put you in there. Out of the way. The rest of these I want to keep just to have a spare few. I mean, I guess we don't need to carry around the empty shulker either. We'll grab it when we need it, if we need it. We get an extra spot by doing that. All right. What I don't want to do is not be able to pick up or suddenly drop the dragon's head. As you saw, I like to make a little pad so when swinging my pickaxe up at it from below, if I bolt the wrong direction or don't grab it, it doesn't go. Now the good news is this ship is at least over ender stone as opposed to out in the void. So even if it falls all the way, and we're pretty much done here anyway. And as such, why don't we just let's go back. I think we're... Oh, he's mad. Let's get down. Be ready. Here he comes. It's good. We've used a few pearls. So, restock. And I think that, you know, now we go homeward and we enjoy all the benefits of everything that we've gotten. Again, flying, very cool. You know, we can go direct a little bit more. The main concerns, there's two of them, are, first off, when you're wearing the elytra, you take that burly chest armor value that you have by having the prop 5 or prop 4 chest armor, and you take that down to no armor. The elytra doesn't give you any kind of armor benefit. You know, maybe as much as a piece of leather, but I doubt it. I think it's just nothing. And on top of that, so you're flying along, you know, you're doing all good, you're saving time, you're cruising back. Then you have to land. And there's a little trickiness to landing, getting used to flying with the elytra. Once you have, you can still crash. I said famously in one of my death notes, crashed into cliff face in Nether, fell into lava. You know, and you will take a bunch of damage if you crash in the elytra, even if it's just to a vertical wall and you graze it. The game will treat that as, you know, like falling into the ground. So look out for that. And then also watch out when you're coming into land, that you don't look at like 800 creepers as you do it, because, you know, you're kind of looking around, you're trying to identify your path back, you're checking your speed by making a lot of turns, and as you do that, there's a lot of Endermen around that area, and they can all react, and suddenly, without full armor, you can find that you're fighting a whole bunch of Endermen, and that's not good at all. Yes, it's not real good to fight a whole bunch of them if you're just open and exposed out in the middle of the field, even in full armor. They'll hit hard, so not a top recommendation. And I'll watch with you if you say, hey, my favorite streamer so and so, or in my world I fly in the end all the time. If you don't, you're not playing the game right or whatever. I'll watch your world, but I would hazard to guess that if you do any amount of flying, or streamers that you watch do, it's in an area or a setting that is already controlled, where you may be going from point A to point B over a lot of contested territory, but wherever you're coming into is very secure from Endermen, and I can fly this way without ever having to risk looking at an Enderman. And those are other good things, where having like a honey block sticky landing pad is a good braking solution to getting home, and then you can maybe make a small room with a column of honey or something above it, and carpeted floor to a roof, if that makes sense. The top of a roof. If you carpet it, then the Enderman can't land there, or leaves or something. Put a column of honey on top of it with a ladder going down to your portal. You can do things like that. You can set it up. But just straight up flying point to point in the end is not something I plan to do, because I know how wrong that can go. So, but don't worry, we'll get some flying in. Again, always to the most precarious spot that it can put you. Now, we don't even have significant item wear after all that. I mean, we didn't have to turn around and quarry off a deal. But speaking of which, now that we're here, why don't we leave those all right here where we can get back to them, and we'll just trim this, continue trimming a little bit here at the end around our dragon base. Now, as far as I know, at least in my experience, none of the terrain changes when you resummon the dragon. The pillars will all regenerate, but if you shape the terrain to be advantageous before resummoning the dragon, you can kind of control, you can control it to your advantage. You can shape it however you like. First fight, that's on him. If you could use certain techniques to buy yourself some time to change the terrain, certainly, if you wanted to. But just be aware, that dragon's going to be out there throwing its breath at you all the time, and it can do a lot of damage. So be prepared to, either pumpkin up, do something to keep the Enderman off your back, while you also are looking out for the dragon. But that being said, if you have a particular terrain style that you think gives you a big advantage in the dragon fight, by all means, you got endless time. You just know that you can't go back to the overworld until you've defeated him, and so you are limited on the amount of supplies you can bring with, because you'll never have shulker boxes until you've defeated the dragon. And yeah. All right. So we're close. We won't worry about going super duper low. But each of these levels that are up above the portal, at least, I think trimming down is okay. And then, as we said, I think that's going to be our next kind of killing floor. And I don't think I want to, level out all of this area another, at least not yet. If we do a big build in here, maybe. But I tell you that, excuse me, here, one second. Oh, I had to get a big yawn out. I've been working, as I normally do on weekdays in particular. I usually drink a couple of coffee. I make two cups of coffee. They're both insulated. One kind of sits finishing brewing as the other is going into me. And as I'm starting, if I'm going to record, it will just finish up as I'm recording up a first session. I'm still, hang on. Savagely fighting these yawns. I don't get it. Now I don't know. This one kind of pushes out more in that direction, and I like that it's kind of the furthest out here. It's the most, those two, you end up with almost needing a third over on that end, so I think, but this one is a little smaller. It's going to kind of be our auxiliary little station. But let's just see. If we were to make this the height. These guys are worried. Oh, wait, hold on. We know what went on over at that other one. My cousin Jerry hasn't called in years. Or 2 episodes. Now, what I don't want to inadvertently do as I'm working on these is potentially create holes that I would then have to deal with in a future. A future dragon fight. This doesn't sound good to me. I don't know what's going on with these yawns. Hang on, I still got some cold coffee. I'm going to take a sip after I finish these 2 rows. Try to get the rest of that caffeine going. I don't know if I said much this morning. I think I did a little bit, but it was great. I finally got like just a good night, solid night's sleep after both my doses of the COVID vaccine. So I'm very happy about that. It was great. I had been, it's maybe a little too much information, but I'd been, so fighting with the lymph nodes and the swelling a little bit the last couple of days, and just the overall headaches and everything, that I kind of was like, all right, enough. I'm kind of gonna hydration cleanse myself of all this, and just started super hydrating. So I did wake up in the middle of the night and I had to go take care of some of that excess water, but other than that, I slept like a baby, and it felt so good. Anytime after I think we were talking about this, and I may have gotten distracted off of it. If I am repeating now and finished it already, my apologies. But sometimes after you've been really sick, you forget what it actually feels like to feel just normal, and how good it is to just feel normal. So I've been kind of riding that all day today, and it's really pretty nice. I'm glad to have it be done. Really, my main concern now, and this is a good thing. It's a double-edged sword. I'm not certainly hoping to just keep this going by any means for an extra amount of time, but I also am a little concerned because I think most places around me are going to go to what they're seeing is like the next level of restrictions, which is like restriction clear, right? It's not that they're like bought into the color coding thing enough that they're like, oh yeah, we got to give it a color and a code. Well, we're just going to call it clear, but it really means that we're not restricting anything anymore. Like, and we're monitoring. Well, I hope you're monitoring. If this taught us anything, it's maybe keep a close eye on what diseases are blowing up around the world. And I know, a little bit of a hot potato topic, but on whether we should have acted earlier, who did the right thing, and all that. It's so easy for people to point fingers after the fact. I don't like getting into that. I think there were sentiments each way, and it's one of those deals where if you're on the team opposite whoever's making those decisions, you're always going to point the finger and pass along a lot of blame. It's either, oh, you limited freedoms and you restricted people and you got all upset if they acted, and then it doesn't end up being as bad as it could have, or you didn't pay enough attention. You should have been omniscient and known this was the one that was going to spread, and become a true global pandemic. We really, since 1917-18, haven't had that level of effect. So I'd like to believe that when people are in power, they genuinely, I know there's a degree of self-interest, right? Everybody's going to try to stay in power, keep getting elected, and, that's kind of the check, right? It should be, at least. If we don't feel people are doing a good job, they don't get reelected. And sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, but it certainly gives an avenue for that. Now, on this one, because it's a smaller shape, let's check our time again. Still got some time. I just really checked the time so that I could get some more of that. Sorry. Totally distracted there for a moment. If you guys have an official preference, again, I don't, and this seems like something that everybody would be doing, but I don't know if it's just the kind of clout of, oh, look, I made a machine, or if it's the lack of really thinking that it's this easy to do. But I certainly don't see a lot of just making safe carvings, cutouts in the bottoms of these obsidian towers to become Enderman fortress or Enderman factories, maybe? Is that better? No, we'll leave that, right? Yeah, we're cutting through. I'm going to try to leave the 4 corner posts this time and see how that works out. or maybe the center side. We'll maybe leave. Cut this one. Maybe leave this post and the diagonals and see where they get better caught. Again, it may be nice to try to funnel them into a single spot to get more efficient kills. I don't know. I know we're gonna have a lot. Uh-oh. Somebody coming? It was kind of a purposeful walk over here. Well, I thought you might be coming. Hi. Just showing me that my concept is good, right? Alright. Let's go through here. A nice chill content though after mowing through a few cities. Nice to have a little quiet obsidian digging time. And it's just it'll be nice to have it done in advance. I know it, it feels like, oh man, we've done so much of this. Do we really have to keep doing it? I guess we'll have that one open. I don't know. I don't think I want to confuse that with the other posts. This one should be a double. This one should be a double. And I mean, we may take out all these center ones. I was kind of wondering, do we do the corners and just leave bigger sides on each side, or do we? So let's do one of each and kind of compare. So fortunately, this side is a little less filled up. We'll kind of see how a batch of these guys do. How they, how compressed do they look on these corners, or how compressed do they get if we shift them over to the side? Oh, hey, I don't even know where that was from. Well, it wasn't cool. And again, what this should hopefully do, I don't know if I'm even in range to get. They do seem to like to get stuck in the corners. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think just for fun. Let's try it this way. And we'll see how we do when we run two of these at opposite ends. Okay, so start loading up this. Everybody that we can see, kind of keep them coming around to try to get to you from the other side so that you can see, and you got to just be extra careful now. We don't have solid walls on either side, so we don't want to accidentally open ourselves up to and that's another reason why, for me at least, I don't particularly like having knockback on a sword. I would prefer to get the mobs pulled in and then not be waiting for them to return. Whether it's this or anything else, I just feel like you're being kind of counterproductive when you're again, be careful as you pull them. You want to keep them behind you, moving, so that they feel like they've got a better shot where you're not looking. Alright, come on over. Again, not claiming or trying to represent these as being more effective than the spawn forced true farms out in the void, where the only mobs that can spawn anywhere around your area are the ones that actually get sucked into your killing room, and those much more efficient. I mean, we've gone from level 63 up to 64 here, but on those you can really just stand there, and levels even up into the hundreds are just so quick to come as you're doing your thing and repairing your tools. So it's a little bit, but now you can kind of see, even though we're not in that kind of an area where everything will by design be right at us, with 2 stops we can kind of clear the whole island and kind of minimize pockets where you're going to have Endermen that are not getting cleared out and allowing for more generation. So just get a good batch and start chopping. And there we go. That's all there's to it. We'll maybe take a few of these back home. A little bit more decorating. How'd that do us for time? 138. I don't think, at least for the moment, we're going to need to carry those right. All right. For here, I think we'll continue to do oops, just a couple designates away from just the raw materials. And here we can do the base, and then we've got, you know, pillars and stones. Base and stone will continue to grow. I know it, you know, it doesn't seem like we're drowning in it yet, but if we do get to a place where we're just pulling a lot, and that can be crafted into slabs and stairs and all the rest of it as well. So having a couple of different storage boxes for those materials is pretty handy. All right, back over here, we'll dump the cobble, then we'll go upstairs to do the various stuff that we have in our ender box. And as you can see, now that we've got a few of those carried in a stack, we can continue, you know, every time you don't have to wander somewhere to access an ender box. We'll probably forget that there's that it floats is nice. We'll wonder if there's one ever here. So let's pull all the stuff that we may need. That'll go in the box until we've equipped it. Those can get pulled out. I don't know how long we want to carry those for. This can go in the box. This can go in the box. That in the box. That's really something that should have gotten stored downstairs. We'll need those. We'll need those. Well, we won't really need those, but maybe for dyeing purposes. All right. Do we have... We got a silk touch and a mending. I do believe that's all we need for here with all our levels. It's stupid not to make a 5th pick. And like you see there, those are free enchant levels, right? So that cost us seven levels. That's it to get that pick fully juiced up. This is the one we don't really know if we care to finish, and I don't know if I care to carry it around. I probably don't unless there's a special purpose for it. So we'll just leave it for now. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to put these elytra away for now. Oh wait, no, we've got everything we need. What are we talking about? Yeah, we'll definitely load them up too. I think we purchased just for that possibility. So 6 levels there. We now got two loaded elytra. Very good. And as I said, eventually everything goes into a shulker designated for, you know, kind of this camp / tools / whatever box. If we get to the point where we're doing massive digs, massive resource gatherings, we may have a box that's just picks and shovels and axes, you know, just harvesting tools that we can use to set on the ground where we're, you know, harvesting stuff, digging a hole, doing whatever project we're doing, and just churn through them, and then, you know, pick up that box, take it all the way back to the end. We can repair all those using the 2 Enderman towers and heal them up. You know, nether quartz, whatever we got, a dark room spawner, however we want to farm XP. We can kind of manage those repairs, but very good shape there. We no longer need to tote around in our inventory all these tools, and that's a pretty decent thing. So, you know, I kind of shift a little bit to where I want to have an off tool, depending on what project I'm working on or anything else that I can kind of use. And I think, at least to start, again, I'd like to make like a, you know, great haul or something like that to maybe it's a redstone torch. I thought there was a deal where if you put something underneath the heads, they would, their mouths would move. But I don't remember what that is. For now, it's kind of cool. You got a couple dragon heads on the walls. Awesome trophies to go with our egg. Alright, next up, let's stow away all these goodies. That we need. That might be enough. Yeah, that should get us enough to have a few chests to spare. So, shulker boxes. There we go. I think maybe we keep odd shulker shells in here, just with our tools and our chests and everything. You know, when we come back, if we have secondary odd ones, we'll know they're right there. It's kind of the most common place to look. We will set both of those. I still don't feel compulsive need to repair that bow. It's hanging in there. You know, it's still got a lot of wear on it. I was thinking about end rods will continue to produce light, so you can use those as a kind of modern look lighting element if you're, you know, making skyscrapers or interiors of buildings that are kind of, you know, glass and steel, or you know, a mad scientist laboratory of the, you know, not so much the Dr. Frankenstein steampunk kind of stuff, but the, you know, modern X-Files, something like that type of laboratory. That's a good one. You know, lots of white concrete and all that kind of stuff, very sanitary. It looks a little like fluorescent lighting stuff, depending on how you place it. So those can all be good. I think we're now all empty, so we've got 6 boxes. We have 1 die. Let's see what colors. Again, let me just keep an eye out here. I don't want to go long. Now we're just kind of messing around. Still got a few minutes left. I'm kind of thinking, because I've never done it, but I'm kind of thinking in honor of our Enderman blocks that we do a... Oh, I fed all those stinking dandelions. Oh wait, lapis can be blue. We'll probably need a few reds. We got loads of bone meal to make white. That'll give us a load of pink. I just need some more yellow. I did put that bone meal all the way back downstairs. Just gonna go pluck a couple dandelions. Because I tell you, right out of the gate, two color, you know, probably 3 colored chests that I'm going to make will be red, yellow, and orange, just for their kind of high visibility, bright. Don't lose, you know, if you accidentally leave them someplace, there aren't a whole lot of biomes where those colors won't stand out to some degree. You know, you can kind of see them if you've inadvertently left them along the way. And really, we can do a lot of different color options as far as whatever becomes our kind of bulk chest variety. But for now, I think we'll just kind of go for a variety. very base colors. We can make a lot, but like I said, I'd like a red and I'd like an orange at least. So we'll make 2 yellows and 2 reds. I mean, there are primary and secondary type colors in lilac gets you magenta, so that is distinct from pink. Cocoa beans get you brown. Lapis gets you blue. 2, 3, and I've got a green. So I think to start, at least, let's get our yellow. Let's get our red. Let's get our orange. And then we'll do a blue, a green, and a brown. Now, this is 6. I believe there are 16 or 18 total colors, and some of those are variations, and it's the same as the wools. So whatever colors of sheep you can also have effectively colors of shulkers. So you can have light gray, and white and black, lime green along with the regular green, pink and magenta and purple and light blue. All the colors that are out there for beds or anything else you can have in shulker boxes. So we'll get a full complement, and that's really handy if you're doing abandoned mine shafts, for instance. In the future we can clear a room or an area at the beginning of our explorations, set out a whole bunch of different colors of boxes, and make one for minecart tracks, make one for oak fence rail, make one for oak blocks. All the things that are going to come in a lot of volume and could otherwise choke us out, you can have those pre-sorted, and that helps when you get back home, all your inventory management is pretty done. Drop down the box that's got all the gravel in it, right next to the gravel storage kind of area. So all those things get easier with a lot, but then eventually we'll also want to start maybe with 2 or 3 different big time colors. And I think in this one, I'm going to kind of be the kind of foresty green brown type colors. We got a lot of cocoa beans, and we have plenty of access to cactus to cook and make green dye, and we can even make a cactus farm. That's one I certainly will do. You don't have to be right by it. It doesn't add a whole lot of lag to your world or load, but is kind of cool, and it's very modular and scalable. So we don't have to make it huge, but we can definitely be growing some availability for green dye. So all cool stuff. Nothing too crazy. How did I end up with so many more red poppies? I don't know. Sometimes I give up. Dies away. Lapis away. Random ender dirt block away. Let's go put our flowers back. And then we're going to wind down. So again, thanks for kind of two fun end-related episodes in a row. We can certainly continue our expeditions out from where we've begun in the end. Go through that same portal, kind of go in the opposite direction, build out some bridges to the other islands, go beyond where we've seen cities already. We don't have to wait until we've got gas tiers to go back, but as I've said, there's kind of a threshold for how much is enough, how much is too much when it comes to it. For now, at least, these 3 are going to be just kind of general storage. This will be orange for explosives, right? So rockets and or TNT, depending on whether we're we're looking for netherite, and whether we're looking for anything else. Ultimately, these two are going to become tools and or consumable storage. So one of these can ultimately get to the point where we've got a whole bunch of picks and shovels and axes, usable tools that we can consume up. We should go put this upstairs too. I don't know which is which yet. And then the other one would become gear and consumables. So more stacks of food, extra beds, the spare bows and the wings and all that kind of stuff. The other random stuff. But it's also kind of a pain to have to set 2 boxes. You got to set the ender chest and then set your tools to get all those out. If you're going for a long flight, you just keep the rocket box in your inventory. If you've used up a stack of rockets, you land and pull out another one. That kind of stuff. Switch your elytra when they've gotten worn down. So there's ways to manage it, but we don't need to go over the top using those. Primarily, these are just going to be... Oh, and that's... we can keep a few potions ready to go as well. In fact, let's just call it now that red will be our resources as opposed to our yellow tools. So we'll go ahead and grab a few potions. We don't need to jam it up. If we know we're going somewhere for a specific reason, then we'll pack accordingly. But for now, a couple water breathing, a couple fire res, and we don't need any of the rest of that. Just a few, so that if you unexpectedly find you're in a position where some of those would help out. I don't know what that is, but it's nice to have them there and ready to go. So just, having a few already loaded and ready, pretty good. And I love having the extra ender chest. Everywhere we could need one, I'd love to have one. And each end city that has that particular room is a pretty good opportunity. But folks, I think that was a heck of a second session in the end. We're feeling like big boys now. We've got all the salty. We're in a whole new world. So next missions, kind of in game progression, I think will probably be to start getting after netherite, and that's a whole nother operation, newer to the game, something we haven't really done a whole lot of yet, but I think makes logical sense. We can kind of, we're fully ready at this point. It won't take a whole, oh, speaking of which, though, just before we wrap up, because we were going to put it away and I almost forgot, and I want to check here. So we've got another looting. We can put that on our sword. We don't have Smite 5 yet. So that's something we're going to want to roll for. But we don't need to carry that around just for the sake of carrying it. We could, we've still got 50 levels. So we've used quite a few, but we've got a 5th pick. We're very set there. And we got 2 sets of wings all loaded up and ready to go. Netherite and Raid are the next 2 obvious challenges that we want to consider taking on. And I think neither is imminent. I think we in what I've described already is my desire to not rush to the end of content and then being stuck. If we've done everything, then it's just building all the time. All right, are we just going to go looking for resources, or are we going to build something? And I'd like to keep a little bit of this just to to mix it up. So we've done a ton of content recently, and I've had a blast doing it. I think it's great. It's classy when we do it like that, as the game says. So we'll kind of mix it back up again now and kind of swing back the other way. I think we've reached that point. We've got some ender chests. We've got a lot of desert around us. We've got some good mending tools. We can go get an awful lot of sandstone. And, you know, we have coal, plenty to cook it up so that we can have the full varieties. We've got elytra. We can go hunting for that last elusive biome that would really add to the decoration effect, I think. So lots of that kind of stuff to do before we really start working around netherite. When we get to the point where we're beating our head against the wall repairing tools, that's when we'll start going, yeah, maybe it's time now to go get netherite so we have increased durability on our tools. And that'll be fun too, but you know, again, we're going to kind of slow play a little bit and go back to trying to get our fortress here. You know, we've been living in a tower. It's open to the air and very drafty, and otherwise not very appealing. So we're going to try to improve our home quite a bit, and at least make that a bigger priority as we go forward. So little teaser of what's to come, but we have crossed over the 2-hour mark, and I want to get back out and enjoy it before the storms hit this evening, and then it goes back to sort of winter again. So you guys take care. Get up, take a walk. If you're watching these videos in order and there's more up to watch, or if you're going to watch somebody else's creations, please do so, enjoy them, but stick your head outside and move your body a little bit between now and then. Get some water, stay hydrated, and enjoy, and we'll see you back here next time. I really appreciate you guys coming, and hope you'll leave a like or drop some comments. Let me know what are the content you've enjoyed. If you have any recommendations on what you could use a Fortune 3 shovel for, I would be fascinated to hear. So let me know, and we'll do this again soon. Bye now.